Hello, my friends. Danny D here from Solicitous Comics. I got another email from somebody asking me my help. Thank you very much. I feel honored helping you. Considering that I don't sell comics or I've never drawn comics or anything like that, but I'd be more than happy to give you my opinion of your questions that you asked. Now, this person, I think I should start calling this Welcome to Restoring Tractors and Comic Talk. This person asked me to look at their Indiegogo, which I never knew you could do before it goes live. And they asked me a few questions about it. I will give you, again, my opinion. These are only my opinions, so take them with a grain of salt. Ask other people. I will tell you what I would look for and stuff like that. If you agree with me, fantastic. If you don't, hey, that's okay too. I mean, this is your comic. First off, you asked me if you were rambling on too much on your writing. No, you are giving a beautiful amount of description, what your goals are, how long you think it will take you to do what you want to do. I think it's perfect. So no, I wouldn't change that other than a few other little things, but we'll get into that. That's more with your perks and what you're offering. But other than what you put there is perfect. Your art, I love the art. It's very Japanese style. It's got that very much Japanese flavor to it. The only thing that and again, this is my opinion, that I would change on it are your word balloons. They're not symmetrical. Look at the word balloons on some of the other comics and you'll see what I mean. They're more symmetrical. Be very careful. Richard C. Meyer, when he goes Diversity in Comics, if you don't know who that is, one of the criticisms he had on a comic recently was someone did this beautiful artwork and then they covered up the artwork with the word balloons. So, and I'm not saying that you did this, I'm just saying that that's something that to be aware of. Be very careful where you put your word balloons. Don't cover up part of the story, because don't forget, this is a visual medium. You are telling a story. You are telling a story with your drawing as well as your writing. As for putting a 100-page comic for $25, that's nuts. Don't do it. If you look at most of the comics, they're around 48 pages. Some are smaller. Nasser's, I forget what Nasser's was, but his was smaller, but he charged a lower price for it. Personally, I would find a good spot where you could have a bit of a cliffhanger, which will leave me wanting more, because then I'll want the next comic. 48 pages is probably the biggest I would go. I wouldn't go any bigger than that, unless you're doing, some of the guys are doing, there's this beautiful art book called Black and Red. Amazing art book. Now that has got a lot more pages in it, but that's his art. The art's already done, so that, you have to play with that a bit. But for you, 100 pages for a graphic novel, that's too much, man. You're selling the store too cheap. Think more of yourself. I would do, like I said, 48 page, if not less. Find some place where you can have a cliffhanger where people are going to wonder, oh no, what's going to happen next with this character? Stop it there. And then, since you've already got the story idea down, that can be your next Indiegogo if this first one is successful. Because you don't want to lose your shirt either. Alright, so there was the word balloons. That's your perks is the only other things I would change. You don't have very many perks. Price out what it's going to cost you to do your posters, because you said you wanted to do posters. Find out how much it's going to cost to print the posters, and don't sell yourself short. You're doing this to make money. You're not doing this just to write a comic. If you were just doing this to write a comic, well, you would write SJW stuff and you'd be working for Marvel and DC because they pay shit. So be very careful at what you offer. I would offer 2 grades of payment. You have ships worldwide on all your perks. Do ship worldwide and local, or US, or continental US, or North America. Because find out if you can do a flat rate. When I bought Cyberfrog, it was a flat rate. So no matter where you ordered it from in the US or Canada, you paid pretty much a flat rate. But it may be cheaper for him to ship it to me, but it's more expensive for him to ship it to California. Well, it kind of evens out in the end. That's not a bad way to do it. And another reason I would say that is because then you know exactly, oh, okay, so every comic book will cost X number of dollars shipped. Do more perks, stagger them out. Look at what some of the other people are offering. Some of them are offering, to put art, some of the original pages signed. Put more perks in there. Piques people's interest and keep them everywhere. Do a tip. A lot of the guys do tips. $1 tip. It's just some way of somebody saying, hey, I like what you're doing here. I can't buy your comic, but I'll throw you $1 tip. Throw something like that on and tell them you'll put them in a thank you page. Thank your customers by all means. I love the fact that one of the people that do the most is Nasser. He gives updates on when he gets his packaging in, when things go off to the printers, everything. I know exactly what's happening with what I have purchased because he keeps giving me updates. He says thank you. They all say thank you. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's one thing I like about this community is everybody is very appreciative of what one gets. Don't lie to your customers. If you run into an issue, like Nasser ran into a slight issue, he's a week behind, but he will state, hey, I'm sorry, I'm a week behind, but here's what's happening now. As for anything else, I don't know what else to tell you. I would personally look at other word balloons, see what they have for shapes. More perks. Check your pricing. I love the artwork. I think you will do well. Don't give away the store. Go with a smaller book. If you've got 100 pages, you pretty much have 2 graphic novels there, if not 2.5. You may want to offer one in black and white, one in color. That's up to you. But, thanks for asking for some help. I hope my advice is helpful to you. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm not a comics pro. That's not my vocation. Look at other people, what they're offering for perks. Study what people are doing. If you're look at all the successful ones. Look at Lone Star, Brand, Cyberfrog, Iron Sights. Look at what they did. Now, mind you, a lot of these guys are already pros. Now, you're not a pro, but Nasser kind of went to what they did, and because he kind of copied them, it helped. By all means, get on a lot of the chats. Do one, and I'm glad that's getting his Detective Dead. The first time it was out, it didn't do so well. Now he's doing great, and I'm glad because it's a good story. So don't worry about failure the first time. Just tweak it and try again, because it doesn't cost you anything to keep trying, but it'll cost you everything if you don't try. Other than that, I don't know what else to tell you. I hope this helps. I hope this helps anybody else who's thinking about doing this. And if you have any other questions, by all means, send me an email, hit me up on Twitter. Email's a little nicer because it's more private. The email is on my About page. And hey, I hope this helps. All right, you have a great day. One other thing, I noticed I forgot to mention something when I was editing this video, so I'm going to add this. It's short, sweet. Do an intro video. I forgot to. That's actually the second time I had to do that. A video to your questions, because the first time, for some reason, right in the middle of the video, the camera decided to go out of focus. But do an intro video. Show your art. Describe your story. Describe yourself if you feel up to it. If you don't like it, find somebody who's got a very soothing voice. Have them do it. They don't have to show their face. Just do a voiceover and show your artwork. It's important. The videos, you're selling it. The video has to sell your comic, and it has to sell your comic fast because people's attention spans are pathetic. All right. That's it. With this little add-on, that's all I have. So I hope this helps, and we will see you guys on Monday.